a little story about a gentleman called Adolph Cohen who lived in Berlin, and he wanted to change his name, so he went to the place where you change names. He filled in the form. At the top he wrote his name in block letters, Adolph Cohen. He handed in the form. The man who looked after it put it back to him and said, "Cohen you are and Cohen you'll remain." He said, "It's not that I want to change, it's the Adolph." Now, one more turn. You're like, I'm sure. They should appeal to you. O'Gorman brothers to the fore, although there's only two. 4-2. Oh, is that funny?
Ladies and gentlemen, a few funny stories coupled with some snappy card tricks. There was once an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotchman. I must set a trap for that. There was once an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman. There's a lady without. Without what? I'll go and have a look. Yes. Anyhow, this Englishman, this Irishman, and this Scotsman sat down and started to play this game of cards. The gate was closed. There'll be thousands of people in Hastings tomorrow. Why? They live there. Yes. As I was saying, this Englishman, this Irishman, and this Scotsman sat down and started to play a game of cards. They don't want London Bridge any longer. Why not? It's long enough. It's time I did something, dear. Yes. It isn't cricket, it isn't cricket. What is it? Football. As I was saying, this Englishman, this Irishman, and this Scotchman. They're two for a penny in Ireland. What are? Halfpennies. They seem to tell me all sorts of things. This Englishman, this Irishman, and this Scotsman. Stop! This can't go on. What can't go on? This shirt. Look at it. So, I'm in love. You're in agony. I want you to understand, I sing by ear. I thought you couldn't make that noise with your mouth. Is that so? Yeah. Now, what have you got there? Oh, a list of all the people I can give a thorough good hiding to. That you can give a good hiding to? Mm-mm. Have you many names down? 29, and you're at the top of the list. Yeah. Top of the list? Why, do you think for one moment that you can lick me? Well, your name appears here. Yes, but do you think for one moment that you can lick me? Well, have a look at the list yourself. Yeah. I'm asking you a simple question. What's the answer? I'm asking you. I wish you meant it. I do mean it. You surprise me. I'm surprised, so I'll pick you up and break you in two. Then there'll be three of us. You think you can lick me? Yes. I can think I'll knock you right through there. Through there? I'll knock you right through there. You would? I would. Are you sure? I'm sure. I'll cross your name off. Just a minute. Now, I want to show you. What's this? I've opened a fish shop and I'm putting this outside. Oh, that's the sign outside. Sign outside. You like it? It's very good, but there are too many words. Too many words? How? Well, I'll explain. For example, you're not selling rotten fish, are you? Rotten fish? Certainly not. Then you won't want this. Fish sold here. Much better. You're not selling it anywhere else? No. No, then you won't want this. Fish sold. You're not going to give it away? Certainly not. No, then you won't want this. Fish. Well, they'll smell that, so not my fish, you want.
Now the Diamondos, they're very bright. They'll show what's in the main mint when the press reporters write. A sparkling entertainment. The Diamondos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me very great pleasure today to announce one of the finest artists I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life. Educated man, mind you, brought up at Eton and Harrods and all the preparatory schools for Romanos like. Nice chap too. Here he is, Ronald Frankau. Frankau! All right, Frankau then. Yes, Frankau's his wife, that's right. Well, here's luck to him. Give him a German when he comes on. I'm going off to have half a pint of pigs in the nearest rubber dub.
I'm known here as Gugu. I really don't know why, unless it refers to the twinkle in my eye. A mere look gets all the girls, the poor ones and the swells, but those who appeal to me have got names that start with G. Gertrude, Gladys, Gloria and Georgina, little glad-eye Gwendolyn. Has anybody seen her? Geraldine and Grace say when they see me passing by, oh, gummy, there goes Gugu with a goggle in his eye. Extraordinary thing about this G business, my father's name starts with a G, you know. Gustave, that's French for Cuthbert. My mother's name, Geneviève, that's Yiddish for Rebecca. And they started me on Glaxo, and I finished with gin, Jabir. But there's a tragedy in our family recently, not only my being on the stage, 'cause that's nearly broken my poor mother's heart, because my people are frightfully rich. Oh, frightfully rich. Pork butchers in Jerusalem, simply coining money. But it's not only that. Something's happened to all my three brothers. My eldest brother went to a lady thought reader the other day. You know, one of these ladies who read thoughts. As soon as he got into the room, she smacked his face. And then my next brother's lost his arm, poor chap, right from there to there, from the humorous to the humoresque. He used to be a sport, too. He waited for opening time and then went down to the station. He had a penny with him. Don't know if you've ever seen a penny. It's a round copper coin with a king's head on one side and a lady on a bicycle on the other. And the particular penny he had with him this day wasn't on the horizont. It wasn't on the perpendic. It was on the skew whiff. And he put it into the slot machine, and it stuck. And he pulled and pulled and pulled, and it tore his arm off. Of course, he didn't notice it at first. But when he got home, he looked down, there was just a missing link and no arm. He went back to the station, but you know the way these things get pinched. He got a jolly good job in spite of having only one arm. Rather. Shorthand writing. But my other brother's, he's lost his brains. He was mountaineering, you know. Well, mountain over-thereing, really. It was over in Switzerland. Perhaps you didn't know there are lots of mountains in Switzerland. The Alps and the Pyrenees and the Himalayas and Snowdon, no, rather. Even the fields have their backs up over there. Well, he was over there because he was very keen on etymology. No, that's swimming. Botany, that's right, botany. And he was after this marvelous Gusselwasser. And he was... Excuse me, I'm wanted by my pianist. Yes?
Not Gusselwasser.
Not Gusselwasser?
No.
No.
Edelweiss.
I beg your pardon?
Edelweiss.
Oh, yes. Yes, well, that's what he was after. And he climbed up about 3,000 miles odd one morning in search of some of this stuff that he told me about, and he couldn't see any of it anywhere. My brother, being very intrepid, went up the other few thousand miles odd, and there, sure enough, turned round a corner by a post office and found a man selling shrimps. So he said to this chap, have you seen any? Have you seen any? The chap said, yes, but you're not supposed to take it till the 12th of August because it comes under the game laws. The sheep feed on it. My brother didn't mind about that, and he went up 3,000 miles odd in the afternoon, and there, sure enough, was a little clump of this, little clump. And there was a bar sheep pecking at it. You know the way the French bar sheep peck at things. And my brother, being a very well-educated chap, very well-educated, he used to stroke for Pitmans against Clark's College. When he saw this bar sheep pecking at it, he said, après vaus, which means after you in French. And he stepped back and he fell 17,000 miles odd down a precipice. Landed with the most frightful crash. Broke windows for miles around the country. We were found afterwards by the local inhabitants of Switzerland, you know, the Esquimaux and Esquimoxes, the Esquimox being the female of the Esquimaux. They took him to hospital and he came out a few weeks later, fit as a fiddle, sound as a bell, but no brains. No brains at all. Of course, he didn't notice it at first. But when he got home and found he had no brains, do you know he got a jolly good job in spite of having no brains? Oh, rather. He's in the government. There's Gertrude, Gladys, Gloria and Georgina. A little glad-eye Gwendolyn. Has anybody seen her? A Geraldine and Grace here when they see me passing by. Oh, gummy, there goes Gugu with a goggle in his eye.
Fine.
Now we're going to have Geraldo and his orchestra. They're awfully good. They're going to play one morning in May. and 2 nights in June, so I think they got some other bookings as well. Geraldo and His Orchestra. You've got to take your hat off to them. Goodbye.
Now for Rob Wilton. We often pinch each other's gags, the kipper and the Stilton. But not even the bravest lags would ever dare Rob Wilton. Well, a brigadier general's goodbye, which, as you know, is a super soldier's farewell.
Hints to lion and tiger hunters. Should a lion attack you in the rear, walk on as if nothing has happened. Should you see several lions rushing towards you, don't get nervous, because it won't make any difference. When about to take aim at beast, or beasts, always be sure the gun is loaded. Otherwise, it won't go off. Oh, it's a natty little tanner's worth, this is. I tell you, you've got it all here. It's all down. Should you be suddenly attacked by a lion or a tiger and cannot move, see page 78. Well, of course, you may not have the time to do that. I don't know. Of course, there's not so many lions out here now. I mean, I've thinned them down a bit since I came. I mean, oh, no, when I first came out here, you couldn't move without pushing lions out of your way. It was sickening, it was. It's very funny. I first came to be a lion hunter. I was standing at the corner of the street one day, looking for work, and a fella came up to me, an awfully nice fellow, and he said to me, we're getting up a lion and tiger shooting expedition. He said, will you join? So I said, I'll make one. So he took me round to see the captain, you know, like the fellow that was running the expedition. Oh, an awfully nice, one of the nicest fellas you could wish to meet in a day's Oh, a real gentleman. A most lovable sort of fella. He looked me up and down, he said, who the hell are you? So I thanked him very much and told him, and he said, he said, you don't look much like a lion hunter. He said, you look more like a lion's dinner to me, but anyhow, he said, there's no time to lose, so you'd better go home and pack, because the boat sails on Friday. So I went home and told the missus. Oh, and she was delighted. And her mother said it ought to be a splendid thing for me. And she says, if ever you do come back, she said, what a splendid thing it would be to go out again. She said she thought I was a very brave man to take it on. As a matter of fact, she said, if you lived in Nelson's time, you'd have been dead long ago. But I wouldn't be without this little book, because if you do happen to get mixed up, it's all here in alphabetical order. Now, here's a thing that you'd never think of in the ordinary way. Should the victim be clutched round the body, or body and arms, he should lean gently over the lion's back, take a deep breath, and think out what's best to be done. Then place his left hand over the lion's right shoulder, bringing the knee up to the lower part of the animal's jaw. That's if the lion is not looking. And then let go, or please yourself. Of course, the great thing is you never want to let a lion know that you're frightened of him, because the first...